Are you still very open and good after the Vipassana weekend?
Yes, I am.
Good, good, nice. Come and see us again. Okay, so Bhakti, would you like to share something?
Yes, and now also I had a bit internet problems, but
Okay.
I would like to share what is this staying here in Open Sky House, because now I'm in Open Sky House
Right,
from
the
last weekend.
The Vipassana weekend, yeah?
Already 1 week?
Right, right.
Wow, it's unbelievable. So many things happen here.
Yeah.
And it's really different with another time. That is always, but especially this time is really different because it's not only smiling, happy things. There was some conflict with some people, but
right.
Yeah, but this is really good. It's amazing. So my face is not always smiling, like often like bits like go in. Let's say more go inside this time, more like facing to myself some dark point or unconscious point. So very, it's like dangerous for me, my ego, dangerous to my my protect, like I was protecting, like I'm okay, bhakti is okay, but
it's okay. It's okay. We
yeah.
see you. I can see you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yes. It's like, but often like bhakti is not okay, and I feel I did something wrong, and so many times I felt maybe I said something wrong, but not at all here. Just it's good, even if wrong or right, it doesn't matter. Just what I felt or just happened, just happening. And then even if we talk, like I talk with one person, but we didn't understand each other at all till the end still. But it's no problem actually. It has happened like that. And I was so much concerned about that because I didn't understand at all him. And also he didn't understand at all. And even I couldn't sleep. But also, so many people helping me. And I just shared about this not understanding. But, like she said, so it happened. So what is wrong? So not necessarily to understand each other. It happened. And also understanding is also just happening. And this time it didn't happen. So what is wrong? And I really amazed, this is one of the example. It is so many things here between the people. Yeah. So
yeah.
again,
This is a very nice feedback, Bhakti, because people have many ideas about a spiritual community. They have many projections, and what you're describing, is giving people a kind of true insight into the value of living together, which we've been doing now for 16 years. And of course, in the beginning of our community, all this kind of ego grinding, you could call it ego grinding between the people, I had to do it, I had to be the grinder of the egos. And this is a pretty tough job for one guy to grind, 18 egos, and not really a pleasant job, actually. So over the years, I've gradually constructed a community where everybody's grinding each other. And this is working much better than for me, because then I can step back and the grinding is happening in the daily working together, sharing together. And of course, this is very beautiful, like you're discovering. And it's particularly beautiful when there is a basic, how can I say, a basic energy in the whole community, a kind of love field. Osho used to call it a Buddha field, but actually it's a field of love, you can say. So as you discovered, you can completely misunderstand each other or not understand each other. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nothing really matters, actually. Only things happening in the moment, in presence.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get a strong mirror to see yourself. And you're a very honest person. So when you see into your own mirror, you get a lot of value out of that.
Oh, yes. Now I heard that this is my mirror. Still, I didn't. Still, I didn't see 100%. But now I started to see more, because still not everything. It's happening and still going on, and also other things. But it's true. Yeah, it is my mirror. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And
because,
also,
you know, very, very often you might say, John made me angry. John made me angry, you see? But if you value the mirror, the idea of the mirror, then you can't say, John made me angry. You have to say, I have anger inside. Then you can thank John because John made you aware of your own anger, you see. You understand this?
Yes. Yeah, this time I understand. Before I didn't.
Right.
I really, because of John David. John David said this, it's not good or something, 100% it was like this. But this time I started to see it's true.
Right.
I have, can I say, I have anger inside. Then anger is my reaction, you mean? Does it mean like this?
Not exactly. I mean, when you say, I have anger inside, you're making the assumption that you are somebody who has anger inside. But actually, you know, the way I look at it, there is no somebody. There is anger, there is anger, but there isn't a somebody who's angry. Do you see the difference?
Excuse, can you say one more time? Sorry, one more time. I will understand. One more time.
Okay, yeah, this is not so easy to understand. Actually, almost nobody understands what I'm telling now. You know, it's like a rare secret, you could say. So what I'm saying is that if you're in a situation and you're washing the dishes and you're doing it together with somebody, and then you start to feel anger, right? So you can say, John makes me angry, right? But actually, what's really happening is that you have anger inside. There is anger inside you. And this other person is a kind of catalyst, or he's the grinder of this anger. And this anger is not really your anger, because this anger comes, we don't know from where this anger comes. It's not really a personal anger, because anyway, there's no person. You know, one of the fundamental misunderstandings is that everybody is identified being somebody, being a person. Me. Who is this me, you see? So fundamentally, we have to examine our wrong idea that somebody is me. I'm a me, you see. This is a great tragedy for humankind, actually, because this leads to a lot of suffering. A wrong identification, you see.
I see. No, of course I not see.
You don't really see, but I'm going to I'm going to read everybody a beautiful story about this in a minute. But before I do that, I'd like to give somebody else a chance to come through.
Yes, thank you.
So who would like to share about their meditation? Somebody I don't know, maybe. Where's he gone? There was one guy I don't know, but he seems to have disappeared. Ah, I could ask Susan. Do you speak English, Susan? Where are you? Susan, do you speak English? Would you like to share? So Susan was here in the house in our Vipassana. Okay. Would you like to share what happened to you in the meditation?
I felt a very strong feeling inside my sternum.
Okay.
And it is very strong. Kannst du übersetzen, Indira?
Ich kann dir übersetzen.
Ja?
Ja.
Also ich habe das schon seit längerer Zeit immer in der Meditation sehr stark empfunden, ein Gefühl von Freude.
I have been experiencing that for a long time, a feeling of joy.
Und ich wollte immer wissen, was das ist. Also es war so stark, dass es zwar schön war, aber ich ein bisschen verunsichert mich gefühlt habe.
And I wanted to understand what it is, but I'm feeling a little bit insecure about it.
Okay, and the joy stayed through the whole meditation?
Yes. Ja.
Okay. And what about last weekend when you were sitting in meditation for 2 days? Did you still have this feeling of joy?
Letztes Wochenende, als du 2 Tage Meditation warst, hast du auch das Gefühl der Freude?
Teilweise. Es war nicht einfach für mich. Am Samstag hatte ich auch ziemlich viel, ja, auch Ärger in mir.
At times I did feel it, but not always. On Saturday, there was a lot of anger inside.
Weil ich das Gefühl hatte, ich konnte mich nicht so wirklich konzentrieren und ich hatte neben mir jemanden, der sehr stark geschnarcht hat, die halbe Zeit gefühlt.
And I couldn't really concentrate at times, and there was somebody next to me snoring very loudly.
Und mein Mann schnarcht auch sehr laut und das hat mich sehr getriggert. Das hat mich ärgerlich gemacht.
And my husband is also snoring a lot, so that made me very angry.
Und ich war immer so hin und her gerissen von, ich halte das nicht mehr aus, ich kann mich nicht konzentrieren und ich mache einfach weiter. Und dann bin ich Samstagabend eingeschlafen, Sonntag wieder wach geworden und dann war die Meditation richtig tief und gut. Aber es hat gedauert.
Sometimes I had the feeling inside I was divided. I felt like leaving, but then I decided to stay. And then I went to sleep Saturday night, and in the morning on Sunday, things changed.
Right, right. Actually, I would have to give you a compliment because from outside, I saw you sitting like a yogi the whole weekend without any chair or any back.
Ja, ich meditiere ja auch sehr viel. Also ich erlebe mich selbst als nicht sehr einfache Person oft. Und ich kenne diese Auseinandersetzung in mir. Und deshalb weiß ich, dass es sich auch wieder verändern wird und es sich lohnt, durchzuhalten.
Yes, I'm meditating a lot, and I know myself to be quite a difficult person. So I'm used to sitting through things because I know they change.
Good, yeah, good. Okay, okay, lovely to talk with you. And so There are many other people I would like to talk to in a minute, but I would like to read a beautiful story that I rediscovered yesterday. Can you cut Indira's translation? Only for the German people, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So you know that at the moment I'm working on this new project for Papaji. And this is a very beautiful project. And yesterday I came across one of the stories which is fundamental to Papaji's teaching. Okay, and this is a story about a diamond thief. There was a diamond thief who sought to steal only the most exquisite gems. This thief would hang around the diamond district to see who was purchasing a gem, so that later he could pick their pocket. One day, he saw a well-known diamond merchant purchase the jewel he'd been waiting for all his life. It was the most beautiful, the most pristine, the purest of diamonds. He was very excited, and so he followed the diamond merchant as he boarded the train, getting into the same compartment. He spent an entire 3-day journey trying to pick the merchant's pocket and obtain the diamond. When the end of the journey came and he hadn't found the gem, he was very frustrated. He was an accomplished thief, and although he'd employed all his skills, he still was not able to steal this rare and precious gem. When the diamond merchant got off the train, the pickpocket followed him once again. Finally, he just couldn't stand it anymore. And he walked up to the merchant and said, "Sir, I am a renowned diamond thief. I saw you purchase that beautiful diamond, so I followed you onto the train. Though I used all my skills, which I've been perfecting over many years, I was not able to find the gem. I must know your secret. Please tell me where you hid it from me." Great story, huh? The diamond merchant replied, "Well, I saw you watching me in the diamond district, and I suspected you were a pickpocket. So I hid the diamond where I thought you would be least likely to look for it, in your own pocket." He then reached into the thief's pocket and pulled out the diamond. So, of course, this is a metaphor for all our spiritual efforts, all our years of spiritual practice, all our years of seeking, because probably many of you have spent many years as a spiritual seeker, seeking the diamond. And where were you in fact seeking? You were seeking always probably on the outside. In my case, I spent nearly 15 years seeking what in those days I called enlightenment. And I had a teacher, Osho, who suggested many meditation practices, and I followed those practices. And the whole idea for me was that I would one day, I could attain enlightenment. And of course, I always was looking on the outside. And this went on for many, many years. And then I went to my second teacher, Punjaji, Papaji. And in my first few days, probably my first few weeks with him, I got a big shock. And I came to realize that in all these spiritual years with Osho, I had become conditioned to a wrong idea. And this idea was that I was meditating. And when I met Papaji, he instructed me to look to who is meditating. This was a kind of difficulty for me for some weeks because I had spent so many years looking on the outside for enlightenment. I would become enlightened. I would become enlightened. So I was unenlightened and I would later become enlightened. And the method was all kinds of spiritual practices. So that's what I believed for many, many years. And of course, I got a great benefit in those years from those meditation practices. I became much quieter. My daily life became more simple, more peaceful, and so on. So of course, I got benefits. And then I came to Punjaji, and in only actually a short time, I came into a moment where I suddenly understood that in fact, my diamond has always been in my pocket. That in fact, there's nothing to get, and there's nothing that needs to be got, because in fact, we are all, if you want to call it like that, we're all enlightened. And we've always been enlightened. And this is not just spiritual people, this is everybody. So everybody is actually inside themselves, living their life directly from the self. In India, they call it the self. We might prefer to call it our being. We might call it our intuition. We might call it God. We might call it our essence. There are many different words, and these words are pointing to something that is not the mind, is not the ego, it's not this wrong idea that I'm a somebody. And actually, this is terribly simple. You see, I can invite you right now in this meeting. We still have maybe another hour. We're roughly halfway through. What I'm telling you, if you really can understand what I'm saying to you and see how ridiculously simple it is, then your spiritual work is complete. Call off the search. Stop seeking. So this may be a little bit shocking for some people. Maybe some of you will refuse to believe it because your mind gives you some other idea, some other philosophy. And some of you may be open to understand what I've said, and you will now start to investigate for yourself, because it has to be your own investigation. You've heard me speak this now, but it has to come from your own inner investigation, which in fact is very simple. It only takes a moment. You see, it only takes a moment. So in the beginning of this meeting, we spent 10 minutes to be aware, to be with our awareness. We were absolutely with our awareness, and our awareness was moving it moved maybe to some thoughts, maybe it moved to a body sensation, maybe it moved simply to silence, you see. But the thing that was constant was the awareness. It maybe was aware of different things, but the awareness was constant. It stayed through the whole 10, 15 minutes. There was this awareness. And that awareness is you. You are the awareness. So I would like now to offer a chance to dialogue about this, if somebody likes to step forward. It's completely okay if you'd like to argue and refuse to believe this. In fact, it would be more fun if there's somebody who doesn't like to believe it. But it's such a beautiful story. I came across it yesterday looking for stories for my book, and I felt I have to share it today.
Just one thing, just shortly. Even
Okay.
if I believe, or if I want to believe that, and then somehow I understand what you said, and everybody is enlightened, and they're inside already. But if I cannot reach, or if I don't see it, I mean, that is the point. I cannot see it, and I cannot connect to that, even if I want to.
Yeah, but Bhakti, it's not true what you just said. You know, you were attending the Vipassana weekend. So from Friday night until Sunday night, you sat with a blindfold. We brought you food, we took you to the toilet, and you were constantly looking inside. And on Sunday night, we had a sharing, and I told you that you looked extremely beautiful, extremely beautiful. You looked absolutely like a Buddha, because the Buddha is nearly always shown with an Oriental face. So you just look like the Buddha, you see, very beautiful, very beautiful. And then on Monday night, the next day, we had a meeting, a satsang. And in this meeting, you got in touch with the fact that you have a strong belief inside you that you're not beautiful. You remember?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So this is something that you're very much attached to, that you're not beautiful, even though the day before I told you, as far as I can see, you're looking extremely beautiful. Yeah. So you couldn't accept what I said because you have another idea, another judgment you have about yourself. Yeah. And I would have to tell you that on Monday night, you didn't look quite as beautiful as you had looked on Sunday night, right? In fact, you looked very miserable and sad on Monday night. Yeah.
Yes.
When you were getting in touch with your belief that you're not beautiful,
Yes.
this destroyed the connection to your own essence. So Monday night, you were speaking from your belief that you're a separate somebody. Yeah. On Sunday night, after 2 days of meditation, you'd become very quiet. So you had become in a strong connection to your own essence. And therefore, even without really speaking on Sunday night, or even when you did speak on Sunday night, you were basically expressing from your essence, from your being. It was expressing. Yeah. On Monday night, after another day, you had got in touch with some inner judgments, because in the meeting there was somebody else who I was talking to, and that person had got judgments about not being beautiful, yeah, not accepting her beauty. Actually, she's a very beautiful woman. Everybody would believe that, but she doesn't believe it. Yeah? And then it turned out that what I was talking to her about kind of moved to you,
Mm.
You were very upset. You started crying and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
But I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing to you. So Monday night, you were completely attached to the idea of being somebody.
Mm.
And on Sunday night,
Mm.
this somebody had, you could say, kind of disappeared because of the long silent period, 2 days of sitting.
Mm. Mm.
So when you say you don't know, you do
Mm.
know. You do know.
Mm. Just one point in Vipassana, of course, I was always blind, fault, but my mind was very busy. Of course, in the first day, I was almost all the day angry for the snoring also. The next day, sometimes quiet, but often more, many times with thoughts are coming. But that's why I thought it's not me, just only thoughts. But maybe that is also some wrong idea.
Well, it's a bit wrong idea. Yeah, it's not as wrong as your other idea, but you know, thoughts aren't really a problem. You know, thoughts come and then almost immediately they go. So thoughts are kind of self-destructing. You know, you don't have to do anything to destruct thoughts because they destruct themselves. You know, first you get a thought about something, mummy, and then a couple of minutes later you get a thought about something else, like what's for dinner. You see. So
Yeah.
these thoughts aren't really a big problem, actually. They don't have to really disturb your inner silence.
Ah. Ah. This is really big to hear that. But often comes, so many comes and then go, comes and go, comes and go.
Yeah, but this is because you believe yourself as somebody who's having all these thoughts. You believe yourself to be somebody having all these thoughts. If you take away the attachment to the somebody, yeah, you'll find everything will change. I mean, you understand this story about the diamond, yeah? So this thief, right? He is completely trained like a spiritual seeker. He's trained to search for diamonds.
Yes.
And therefore he's a pickpocket because usually the diamond is in the pocket, somebody's pocket, right? And he takes it out of the pocket. But in this case, the jeweler was a very clever man, and he understood that the pickpocket is always looking on the outside. So he put the diamond into the thief's own pocket. And of course, he never would look in his own pocket. And we also never look in our own pocket. We don't look inside at our own being. We're always looking on the outside. He made me angry. He is snoring, and therefore I feel anger because he is snoring. You don't feel anger because he's snoring. You feel anger because you have a lot of anger inside. And the anger is not because of snoring. The anger is whatever it is, something from the past, maybe many things from the past. And unfortunately, while we believe I'm somebody who's angry, you're attached to the anger, and therefore this anger is always reappearing, constantly reappearing. You see, once there would be no somebody, where is this anger? There's no anger anymore. The anger simply disappears because it can't rest. There's nowhere for the anger to rest. So it's very good that you're silent, because you can be quite close, Bhakti, to get what I'm saying, you know. And you now have a few more days in the community, so stay quiet and just keep looking inside and seeing for yourself if there is a somebody. Okay. Okay. So who else would like to?
I would I would like to share.
Okay, where are you?
Can you see me?
Oh, you're on the. You're okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you. So Om is our super technician, and he's living in the community since about 6 months, is it, or 1 year now?
1.5 years. Yeah.
1.5 years. Goes so quick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it really goes quick. Yeah, there's really no sense of time living here. It's really amazing.
You'll have you'll soon have a white beard like me, and you won't hardly notice where the 40 years went.
Yeah, so in the past few days, sometimes I came to a moment sitting quiet when this understanding of what Papaji meant by saying just keep quiet was just really present, and there was, in a way, yeah, just the seeing that this place where I am, I don't need to make any effort. There's no effort, because there is nothing, basically. There is nothing, so there isn't any effort. And yet this caused a lot of, I don't know, it caused a feeling of fear or unrest, to see that there is nothing.
Well, I can understand this feeling of fear, because when you first get in touch with this reality, that there isn't anybody, you know, this guy who's called Om, he doesn't exist actually.
No.
So when you get in touch with that for the beginning, in the beginning, of course, that's very scary. I mean, that's very shocking, really, of course. So probably you feel quite vulnerable when you get in touch with that. I mean, another famous quote from Papaji is, "Nothing ever happened." In fact, there are 3 books about his life, and the title of these 3 books about his life is "Nothing Ever Happened," right? When you first consider that, it looks completely stupid. How can he call his books of his life "Nothing Ever Happened"? Because the books are full of things that happened. Yeah, he was living his life. He had a wife, he had some children. He worked in as a mining manager of a mining camp. You know, all kind of things happened in his life. So how can he say nothing ever happened? You see, this is even more shocking than realizing that you don't exist. You don't exist, and in fact, nothing exists. You see, this almost sounds stupid. I mean, it almost sounds, how can you say such a stupid thing? Nothing ever happened, because every day so many things appear to happen. But this nothing ever happened. This is a like fundamental truth of existence, of the universe, of the cosmos, if you like. Nothing ever happened. So anyway, we can leave that, because anyway, we're not really interested about the cosmos. Right now, we're interested in what's going on here, right? And what we need to see is that in every moment, there is not a somebody. There is just something. Something happens, like talking is happening, or sitting is happening, or walking is happening, or meeting is happening, speaking is happening. So when you get in touch with the possibility of not being so attached to I am speaking, I am walking, I am sitting.
Yes, maybe it's a matter of just getting used to not identifying with somebody who is the doer, who makes effort, but just to see things as they happen and to keep the attention nowhere.
If you want to keep the attention, keep it on what never changes.
Yes, it's a nice thing to say, but there is nothing that.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, it's the awareness that's always there. You know, it's the awareness. But we tend to always put our attention on what we're aware about.
Yes.
He's talking, he's sitting, I'm sitting.
Yes, so basically the awareness, just keeping quiet, it seems the awareness is basically only aware of itself, and it seems like there's not, if the attention really settles in that just being aware of itself, there's just itself, but not anything else than that, really. And it feels like a fading away of the world or something. And there is peace. There's definitely unspeakable peace in that, but yeah, maybe it's just not being used to. It causes a lot of fear, and or like I mean, this momentum of the ego to the search, what you've been talking about the other day in meditation. A very deep thought arose, which was, I still don't know where I belong, and that really came out of this feeling of not belonging, and that from there seeking somewhere to belong. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fear that or the vulnerability that you're talking about is kind of, you could say, this is kind of the motivation for people to join clubs, for example, or follow the football, or I don't know, get a particular kind of job. You know, I'm a doctor, you know, for example, I'm a doctor, or whatever. You know, human beings are always looking for something they can identify with, whether it's a club, whether it's a kind of lifestyle as a sportsman, or whether it's something like a job, you know, your task. People are always looking for something like this that they can identify with. And then the doctors all stick together. They have a kind of club of doctors, and you know, they support each other in this idea that, you know, I'm a doctor, and that has a meaning. The society gives the doctors a kind of meaning. You know, they're different from the policeman or something. They have a different meaning being a doctor than being a policeman, for example. And in this, we can hide our fear. You know, we can hide this enormous fear if we would get in touch with the fact that we are nothing and there is nothing. Because that's fucking scary, of course, fucking scary. Okay, so I've scared you into peace. Somebody else like to debate this
yes,
subject?
me, Karen.
Okay.
So for me, I would not say what I experience is not nothing. I experience an emptiness, but this emptiness in which the thoughts are popping up and go. This emptiness is more like a fullness. It's like full of love, of peace, and I feel it nearly physical. So when I go through my room and the state is there, it's like I walk, I mean, it's not exactly like that, but it's like I walk through water. No, it's not water, but it's really dense. It's like this consciousness has a dense quality, and I wouldn't say, for me at least, I don't feel any emptiness, and I love to just jump into it and let go and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you can call it fullness, you know, it's fine. The emptiness is also fullness. Fullness is also emptiness.
Yeah, okay, I can live with that. Thank you.
And I think I would like to point out to the people who are on the Zoom meeting today that actually Karen happens to be a very free individual. And maybe you can feel this in the way she speaks and the way she looks. So, I mean, I can recognize that you've achieved some deep understanding, Karen. So good for you. Good for you. Great. Who was your master? You have a master, I think, yeah?
Yeah, I have two now, actually.
Two.
Yeah, I'm still with Maharishi. I do the techniques of Maharishi, and I'm with the Oneness movement also, and then the state intensifies over the years. So I understand what you are telling.
Right. Yeah. Well, you're almost ready to, what's the word? Graduate from having a master, I think. Yeah. But you are a master. Yeah. It's very interesting. Today I was talking about a bit about Indira, for example, you see. So she's been very close to me and to the community, running the community on a daily basis since years, actually, since years, right? And about 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting planned, you know, was a planned evening meeting. And before the meeting, I felt a terrible pain in my body, in my stomach, actually, which is very rare for me, but I realized that I can't do the meeting. And spontaneously, I got the message, no problem, Indira will do the meeting, you see. So she did the meeting, and she felt very good in this meeting. She really couldn't believe how much love was there, and she couldn't believe how much she could tell some very useful things to people. She couldn't believe, in a way, the whole phenomena of having suddenly to do the meeting, right? This was so touching for me, you see, because there was nothing arrogant, you know. She didn't suddenly feel that I'm a very important teacher or something, or I'm going to be a very important. For her, it was just like, wow, you know, wow. And so without really planning it, I immediately could see that she's actually ready to do more of these meetings, you see. I wasn't thinking about that particularly, but now it was clear to me. And so now I've suggested she starts her own Friday evening meetings in German, because I can't speak German and there's a lot of German people interested, and she can have some very good dialogues with these people. So now she's starting, you know, and I find this so great, you see. But I never thought about it. I didn't have to plan it. You know, I won't be giving her a certificate. She will just start it, you know. And I mean, she already had started it because she offers counseling to people in our community. She already shares in her theater groups. She does very often a theater evening in our community. She's always sharing the same material that I'm sharing in her own way. She's different from me. So anyway, existence said, okay, now is the time, you know, now is the right moment. You see, and actually everything is like that. Everything can be like that. And as I speak, you're smiling, so you know this in your own life. Okay, does somebody else like to take up this subject of the diamond? Victoria, Lakshmi. Lakshmi means abundance. So you should know something about diamonds.
Yeah, at first I had very much many thoughts in my mind, but all your talking with Bhakti and Karin and Om made me come into a wonderful silence. All the thoughts are gone away, and I'm just like everything is okay, you know. And I yeah, everything is okay, and I want to talk every time if I want to share my feelings to you, I get a block in my English. It's really crazy. I'm very sorry, John David, but
okay. You actually speak very good English, in fact.
Yeah.
next weekend you can share in German with me.
Yeah. When you gave me my new name, Lakshmi, at first I thought, okay, Lakshmi, wonderful name, a goddess of wealth, and so on. But in the last weeks, there is something very tender changing in my mind, body. I don't know where. It's something very. I'm very happy. I'm very content. I'm very much aware that I'm a very I'm really wealthy inside, you know. And this name is wonderful for me, and I only can say very, very thank you. And for my birthday, look what I got. Do you see it? Can you see it?
Ah, Lakshmi.
Isn't it wonderful?
Right. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
really. From your daughter, was it, or?
From my daughter and a very good friend of mine. Yeah.
Right.
So nice. Yeah.
Right. Perfect gift.
Yeah. It's really, really, really perfect gift.
Right.
And something changes very tender in my body. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good.
Thank you very much.
Well, you can thank me, of course, but it's not really to do with me, you know.
Yeah, but I thought about changing my name some month ago before you did it, or before I asked for a new name. But it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. And right now you look like a Lakshmi because you look completely golden, like golden blonde or something. You know? It shows a good light. It's very good. You know?
The light. And I'm looking forward to see you next Friday.
Yes, we should have a nice weekend.
Yeah. And I will stay one more week.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Bhakti will also be here, so you can grind a bit together, you know. And Aruna is also probably going to be here next weekend. She's got to empty her house, but we're going to send somebody to help her if she doesn't get it together. So she'll also be here. Does Aruna want to say something? Aruna's been living in the community now for 2 months as a volunteer with her son. And today we're having a special day for the kids. So today and tomorrow, we've got a 2-day kids workshop. We've got seven kids, and they're having a wonderful time. And people from the community are offering, painting, clay modeling, yoga, cutting up boxes, all kind of things for the kids, creative things for the kids. And it's very beautiful to watch how the kids respond to this. It's very lovely. Yeah. Would Aruna like to come through?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, just about the kids' weekend. It's really amazing. Like Max is popping in here, like even during the meeting, like every so often, and
Right.
he's really glowing. He's full of joy. I think he's having a fantastic time, and I just want to say thanks as well, like to the whole community. I think there's so much love going into this. And you can just feel it, yeah, and you can see it in the kids. There's so much joy. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to take what I've been saying today and look at the kids, because the kids are still just diamonds, they're still just diamonds. It's nothing has been, how can I say, nothing has been conditioned really. When they're up until 5 or 6, not much damage has been done, and they're still very, very innocent, very spontaneous. And, this energy that you're talking about is something that they can so easily respond to, Yeah. And to see them responding is very, very touching, because when we're older, we unfortunately have gathered up this or that stuff, which makes it much more difficult for us to just take it as it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these kids are very good teachers for us.
Yeah. I think there's a lot I can learn, definitely. I could feel when we were starting in the meditation, I was very tense, I could feel like tenseness, like tension in my whole body, and a lot of thoughts. And but like Lakshmi said, throughout this meeting, it's amazing. Yeah, I really get into a very, very quiet space. I feel it's much lighter, a lot lighter actually. And I haven't had this before, like this very strong energy going up the spine. Yeah, so I can feel it in my neck and around the shoulders, and it's just, it's like I don't know, like it's like the tension is falling off or whatever. Yeah, so it's almost working in the body, and I feel much better with every minute. Yeah.
Right. Well, you're somebody who in India they would say you're somebody who is having your head in the lion's mouth. So, I think you've got to accept that now. Your head is in the lion's mouth.
Yeah, may he bite it off.
Yeah, well, you might do. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Okay. So, who would like to join this dialoguing? We've got somebody else. I think we've lost a few people, haven't we? Natalie, we tried to talk earlier. Would you like to try again?
Okay, we can try. Hello?
Hello?
Well, the only thing I can share this time is I'm having a sweet time in my life. sweet mental time
Okay.
and no effort mental time.
Okay.
So yes, I just need to share. I just choose to share with some other people who is living more or less the same space.
Right.
I'm gonna go to meet you in April to Denia.
Ah, good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To La Isla.
Yeah. So where do you live? You live in Spain. You're Spanish, are you?
I live in Ibiza. Yeah.
Ibiza. Okay. And are you Spanish?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Good.
Yeah. So just that I can share. It's I'm like starting to be really conscious about this space of fullness or of emptiness that we are, if we are, that we live in.
Right. Right.
So happy to meet you, all the people, and just living in it. Also, no, it's not all the time like this in my mind, you know.
Right. Right.
But the thing is, I am accepting, or I am remembering, I am recognizing this is what I am and what all is. But, so just gratefulness in this time in my life, in my mind, to all the projection. And that's it I can share with you.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, we've been coming to Spain for a few years now, and I don't know whether you know that we're planning to create a community in Denia, which has a ferry going through Ibiza. Did you know that?
It's 2.5 hours ferry.
Right, right, right. So you can come on the ferry to visit us.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've been one time in Ibiza. It's very lovely, of course.
Yeah, very lovely place and quiet.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you in April. Yeah,
we will see you in Denia.
Okay, good, good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, John.
Okay. Luigi, you will often have something to say. Would you like to comment on this diamond story? Where's he gone?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel completely agree with this story. Also about the thing you said after the story. Because in this time there is not anymore a seeker. I mean, this is the experience that I'm doing. So there is not anymore a seeker. There is not anymore someone who has to follow any practices, because there is the awareness that I, as presence, I like to say, I like to call it also life, simply life. So I as presence and as life is what I was looking for before.
Which you already had, of course. Yeah.
So I agree.
This is what's so beautiful, yeah, because as you take this aboard and live your life from that understanding, then everything gets so simple, yeah.
So simple and so spontaneous. I want to share also one thing more, and it's about will. So before, I don't know, like months ago, I was thinking that I have to wish or to want to achieve something like realization, and it's my responsibility to create this will. The will, it depends on me, and so please correct me if I'm wrong. But now it's like this is not possible. The will doesn't depend on me, but the will is just spontaneous, and it depends on life, on consciousness. That is what I am. So, for example, if to realize is not my priority, I can't do anything to to achieve. And if I see that it's my priority, also it's not depends on me. There is priority or there is not priority. That's all. It's just life. So this is the feeling that the experience that I see now. Can you see?
Well, I would say, of course, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, unfortunately, we're very conditioned to create a strong will. Yeah. Our whole education, the whole effort of the society, our parents, in a way, is to create a strong will. Will and desire or wanting. I mean, the different words, but kind of all the same stuff. And and this creates a kind of hell, actually, because there's nothing about feeling the existence, feeling what the life is telling or what the intelligence is telling. Recently in the community, the people here put together a film about my life, actually. And when we watched it together, for the first time, I think, I saw that almost my whole life has been going in a kind of flow. And I was not really deciding. It was not really my will. It was, I saw it as, I call it the divine intelligence. That this divine intelligence, which some people might say God, but for me, I can't really use that word. So divine intelligence somehow has been making a kind of decisions in my life. And these decisions become then my life. And every so often, maybe I shift to another country, another situation. And now I'm quite old, and I would say that now I'm very much surrendered to this intelligence. So I'm not in any way using John David's will. I mean, John David's will doesn't really exist, I would say. Maybe in small things, you know, like yesterday, my girls, you know, I have two daughters, they got ice cream from in the kitchen downstairs, you know, and they came up with their ice cream. And then John David said, "Oh, I would like also one ice cream. Can you get me an ice cream?" You know, so suddenly some will came, you know, desire came, something like a will came. But actually, this is happening, but not so much, you know, not so much. Most of the time, I can feel like I'm completely directed by this, what I call divine intelligence. And when I saw my life story of 72 years, it was amazing to see that I could say I was always okay, you know. I never really had any big issue in my life. I mean, it doesn't mean I was happy all the time, but it's like this divine intelligence was always creating a kind of lovely unfolding, something like a lovely unfolding of my human life, yeah, which in a way has no value. My human life has no value in the end. There's no point in my life, but along the way of my life, this intelligence provided all kind of wonderful experiences, like coming to Italy, for example. I've always loved the architecture in Italy, and I've been to Italy quite a few times to experience that. And maybe the other places I could think of going, but somehow I'm not going. I mean, you know, I never went to Mexico and saw the Aztec architecture or something. Somehow it's not on my particular program. And I could never imagine willing myself to go to Mexico, you know, when I don't know how to get to Mexico, you could say. There's no process inside me that would suddenly decide I have to go to Mexico or something. It just doesn't work like that anymore, you know. There is some unfolding happening which probably doesn't include Mexico, for example. I mean, it also doesn't include many other things, you know. So recently I remember in a newspaper reading about some guys who climbed up to Mount Everest, to the top of Mount Everest, yeah? And they had all kind of exciting adventures. And when I read it, I was kind of interested about that. And then I suddenly noticed, I don't think I'm going to be climbing up to Mount Everest in my lifetime. You know, it's not on my unfolding. It just doesn't include climbing up to Mount Everest, you know. And it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, some people, they have Mount Everest, other people have Mexico, and I have what I have, you know. And when I can accept that, which I can, I don't have any, how can I say, desperate feelings that I missed something, you know, something like that. Yeah.
I like intelligence, divine.
Yeah,
as a name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't. It wasn't so easy. We were going to use navigation, divine navigation, because I can see it like a kind of navigation. You know, we don't have a box in the car. You know, but we have our own kind of navigation, which is directed by a higher power. How to describe it? You know, actually, God is probably a good word. But unfortunately, God has been kind of corrupted and doesn't really work anymore. So then what could we use? And we tried navigation, divine navigation, and then I preferred divine intelligence, because for sure, this is an incredibly intelligent power, higher power. Because what it does in John David's life, it's doing in everybody's life. And your life in Italy is also directed by the same intelligence. So this is something very, very intelligent.
Yeah, and in this experience, it is I don't know, reality maybe. I can see that there is no worries and no fears, not at all. Maybe sometimes thoughts like clouds, you know, passing through the sky. Oh, interesting. No, not so interesting. Okay, bye bye. Go. No problem.
Right.
And this background of silence also when there is noise in the mind. But now it doesn't matter anymore if there is some noise in the mind or not, or no noise or silence. Doesn't matter.
Right. Right. Actually, nothing matters really.
Yeah, yeah.
when we're living in the grips of will, then lots of things somehow matter. But when you're not in that, and you're in the intelligence, being directed by the intelligence, the divine intelligence, then actually nothing really matters in that way anymore.
Yes, I can say, I can see that before there was someone who accept this, but now it's like it's beyond. There is no need to accept. I don't know if I can explain. There is not to accept or abandon or to give up. There is no need, because there is just this divine intelligence doing everything in this moment spontaneously. So there is no need to anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hindus have a word, it's called lila, and it's like divine play, you know. So this
Yeah,
is actually,
nice
this is a
name.
beautiful word actually for our life, that our
Yeah.
life is a divine play. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, nice to meet you again. I want to say hello to your friend Danella.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe Marco, can you translate for him? Would you
Hi,
like
John.
to? Hello, hello. I'm very happy you finally made it to a meeting. Yeah, you're a busy man. Yeah. So I haven't forgotten our nice meeting when I came to Italy, when you helped me with my back, I think it was back pain or arm pain, I can't remember, some kind of pain. And you managed to relieve the pain very beautifully. And through this meeting, I was, of course, very much connecting to you and feeling you. And so I'm very happy after many months that you're now here in the meeting.
Quando posso, con piacere.
Luigi, can you actually translate, because Marco can't?
Luigi could.
Yes. Daniele said, when I can, of course, with pleasure, I will come.
Good, good. Yeah. Yeah, we're very happy to see you. I'm happy to see you today. And when this lockdown finishes, maybe we'll meet you in Italy or in Spain or in Germany.
Non vedo l'ora.
Okay, okay. We'll have a proper talk another time. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to finish now. So thank you for joining the meeting. And there's another one in about 2 weeks' time, but it will be on Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock. And I just mentioned one other thing. Because of the project with Papaji, I'm meeting some very beautiful people from Papaji. And if you go on my website and you look for spiritual heroes, you can find a meeting with Isaac and a meeting with Parry. These are two of the teachers from Papaji, or the people sharing from Papaji. And our community had a very beautiful meetings with these two men. And if you watch the video, I think you can be very touched from that. Isaac is now there as a video, and in a few days, Parry will also be there as a video. Okay, thank you.